Brian back here with a look at Kaspa. Just kind of a update here. You can see here, this is for the month. This is the top 100 tokens. This MYX, man, congratulations if you got in on this thing. Look at this. It was at what about $1.30 on September 6th, and by what is it here? September 9th, it was up to 17.56. And if you got in at the beginning, this thing back in May, I believe it was like 5 cents. It's done I think a 350x. Pretty insane, right? Let's put it on a year. For the week, it's up 13 and a half x. 13 and a half x for the last week. Unbelievable, right? So if you had $100, you put $100 in it a week ago, you'd have 1,358 right now. I mean, this thing is absolutely crushing it. Ranked number 42, MYX Finance. I don't know if it's time to buy it now. I'd wait for a pullback on this thing if you get one. You don't want to buy big green candles. That's not financial advice. I'm not giving you any. You do what you want. But I'll wait for a pullback before I even think about getting into something. When it's up that much, that's a lot. All right, if we put it on the week here, there it is, MYX. Wow, 13 and a half x. That's pretty good. If you put $1,000 in it, you'd have 13,056 bucks, $1,356 right now. So that's pretty crazy. But that's what happens, man. That's what happens. I'm not saying this is a reaction of an alt season, but you'll see stuff like this, right? This stuff here, yeah, it'll get absolutely crazy, guys. All right, Wild is up 100% for the week. What is this? Meme Core, right? Number 37. Let's see what this is for the month. It's up about 3.5x. All right, if you're going a year for some of these, not too bad, right? SPX up 134x. Started out at 0.009, and it's at $1.41. Not too bad. That's the stuff you like to see there. A third, what I say, 134x. Where's what was it, MYX or whatever. Let's get back here. Oh, it just came out in May or whatever. But you'd think it'd be on here. It's not like it's 300 and some percent, 330x or something. But that's what, look at this, 412x on virtual for the year. This thing started out at, we got 0.02 back here. That would be a 60x. So it was a lot lower than that. 60x. This thing's done a 412. Whoa. Wow. That's pretty impressive there, right? A 20,000 per, what is that? All right, or is that 202%? Is this, wow, that's pretty impressive. It's up to 38 cents. This thing was at 0.001. Unbelievable. Wow. All right, so am I saying that right? 400x. Is that right? Or would this be a 200x? Geez, not very good. This is a 4.5x. So 1,000% would be a 10x. 200x on this 200. Yeah. This is 41x. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I got it. Jeez. Unbelievable. A little bit of a brain fart there. I apologize. But anyway. We're having a pretty nice day out there. Kaspa is trying to break out of this wedge. Bitcoin has taken out that area I talked about last night. If we come in on a 4-hour, pull this chart up here. That 12,500 area I was talking about, or 1,000. What was it? 112,500. Let me see here. Let's get this chart out here a little bit. I was looking at 1, 2. Yeah, like 112,500 or something. Anyway, we've taken that out. We've made a higher high. on the 12-hour chart here. And it looks like it's heading possibly up here. We'll see how this works out. But the 12-hour RSI heading up, the daily heading to the upside. There we go. 1, 2, right through here. 112, 500, right there. That area right through there, and it took it out. So we're not having a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a rollover down here. This thing looks like it's heading up. This candle should close here within the next 15 minutes. All right here. So looking pretty good. And like I said, probably looking for a run up here. Looks like a possible Elliott wave. 1, 2. Maybe working on a third here, 4, 5 up here. We'll see what happens, right? And once it gets up to this area, if it does, if it's not doing a bigger 1, 2, 3, bigger crash down here, let's go out to weekly. Gonna have to definitely keep an eye. We have some support levels, keep an eye on a couple of trend lines. One up through here, then you have a tighter one that goes up through there that is actually lost. If you take, let's take this off here a minute. Hang with me there, please. Oh, I got it right in here. I'm sorry. Right inside here. It's following that 200. Keeps messing around here with that 200, right? Over it, under it, over it. You want to see Bitcoin over the 200, not underneath it, right? So that's bullish for it. We'll see if it holds this trend line here. Weekly RSI heading up, looks good. Monthly, this once it gets up to that 119 area, that's what I am super curious on. All right, if it does an ABC or if it breaks and heads up towards 133. All right, so this box here, that is my big area that I'm going to be watching. Pretty intently. See what happens once it gets up here. Let's do a 5-wave up, then an ABC, and then push up again. Well, I think as long as it holds the center trend line right here, this line here, that white line, I think it'll be all right. But we'll see what happens. Regardless. We have that alt season on the way here. Dominance. Getting there. You got to shake people out first. That's what the market's doing, almost fear in the market. We took a look at that last night. Looks like Kaspa, possibly breaking up here. I was looking at this chart, right, trying to figure this out. A lot of waves in here, a lot of possible different counts and stuff like that, right? A lot of stuff going on in here. I went from here and pulled this down, and you got a 618. Is that an AB? C, A, B, C, and this was the bottom here, and it's working its way up. Possible, right? It looks, it's got a higher high here. So, took out these highs over here. Got a higher high and a higher low so far on the daily. It's broken this top yellow resistance line on this wedge. Let's get this perfect. About like that there, right? I mean, it's poked a hole in it there. The RSI looks good on the daily, turned up. The weekly, the weekly's turning up, so is Kaspa. 12-hour, see where 12's at. 12 looks good. I think this thing is probably going to make a run here, right? Looks like a possible 1, 2, and maybe starting on a 3. If it can get above that 200 right there, not get rejected at about, 8.6. Once it gets up here, if it can break through, 8.7, I think it's good. This outer wedge is the one we're looking to break, guys. That is our big move right there, right? We took a measurement of this wedge. The longer you're in it, the better. Stronger the breakout. That's what they say, right? We take a measurement, put it on a possible, if we get the breakout to the upside. Pull it over there. Oops, sorry about that. breaks out up here somewhere. What does that mean? What, a double top maybe? 18 cents, 19 cents, maybe higher. Maybe it runs up here. I find that pretty interesting how that measurement is kind of exactly right there, isn't it? Right on it, 18.8. But that was kind of a rough deal there, right? Who knows? Maybe it works the whole way down here before it breaks out, or who knows where it'll happen. But regardless, looks like it's going to be a decent move. If it does the width of that wedge, you'd look for it up into the retracement levels up here, 15 to 16. But we got to break out of there first, right? That's a little bit down the line here. It's nothing that's going to happen tonight, right? So if we zoom back in there, if Kaspa starts ripping up out of here, first areas I would be watching on this thing, it's right up here, 9 to 9.2. I put this in Discord. I said, this thing comes back up here and has a closing candle out of this wedge. I'm going long, up to 9.2, 9, right up in that area. I mean, on a if you want leverage, what is that? Almost 8% on a 20x. What is that? 160%. Not too bad. Not too bad of a move at all. So you have 1.5 extra money. If you have 500 on it, you make 750 on just that move right there. If it works out that way, it's got to get above this 200 here also. Come over and join us. That's a level 3 membership in the description of the video. We have over 150 members in there. And if you also get 10 hours of videos with that level 3 membership. And if you're looking for a place to trade, I have 2 links in the description of the video. BitTuneX, you get a bunch of rewards for your trading volume. This one down here is pretty cool. Every 4 weeks, it starts at 50, then it goes up to 100 here. Then you get 10 for 3 weeks, and then it goes to 200. I think I'm up to the 300 one. Right here, 300. These ones over here go on volume, but they go way up there. Look at that, 5 grand, 10 grand, 40,000. Wow, that's crazy. Up to 100 grand, but look what you have to have. 10,000 to 10 billion in volume. That's crazy, right? Holy cow. That's a big time trader. But if you're interested, there's BitTuneX and there's Weeks in the description of the video. If you use the link, I would appreciate it very, very much, guys. All right, so keep an eye on Kaspa here. If this thing breaks above, like I said, that 8.6, 8.7, I would say 8.7, 8.7, and it's more likely coming up to this area. Hopefully, coming up here and retesting, get breaking out of this wedge. Look at this. I mean, if it breaks through that first area down here, we'd be looking up into here, 10 and a half. But it's looking good. We got a higher high so far, a higher low on a daily. We got daily candle closing here in about 36 minutes. And Kaspa is looking pretty decent here. I think the bottom might be in. That might have been it. All right, thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. I love you. Thank you very, very much for watching the video. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to watch my video. I'm honored and I'm very, very thankful. All right, have a great day, everybody.